Hello everyone, Frost here. Welcome back to a new episode of Rags to Riches. In our previous episode, we discussed 2 ways to make gold with leatherworking and enchanting, and while that video did pretty well, I couldn't help notice that you guys really enjoyed the type of format where we cover grinding spots in detail. How much gold you can make per hour, optimal rotations, tips and tricks to improve the quality of the grind, and of course the tiny little bit of lore surrounding the location. Today we're going to cover a grinding spot, not a secret one, in fact one of the more popular places to farm. The place that in vanilla was the source of gold that made me acquire some of my epic mounts. If by any chance this video ends up being too long for your taste, please check the timestamps in the description down below. So without further ado, let's explore. In order to do this, we have to venture to a shattered stretch coastline on the northeastern part of Kalimdor, Azshara, which was once the greatest Night Elf metropolis. The city fell millennia ago in the War of the Ancients, but a few ragged buildings perch on the cliffs overlooking the ruins among the Coral Sea. Much of the city of Azshara fell into the ocean. Before the Great Sundering, the shattered coast was once part of the Night Elven capital of Zinajari. Then came the demon's expulsion from the world. The land was rent asunder and the sea thundered in, making the region a watery grave and leaving nothing but ruins of the once great city. The Night Elves who survived named this region, once glorious, now nothing but a shattered relic, Azshara, after their queen who was driven mad by demonic influence. Since that time, this place of rocky islands, jagged cliffs, and coral-choked seas has given birth to many tales. Some Night Elves suggest that not all the demons were banished and they're still lurking beneath the glittering waters of the Coral Sea, waiting to strike back. Others claim that Queen Azshara was not drowned, but transformed into a hideous aquatic thing who will someday lead her accursed followers to retake the surface of the world. A few whisper that the dark portal that first brought the demons to Azeroth remains and rests under the sea, waiting for someone to reopen it. Still, others assert that the ancient sundering awakened something that dwelled in the deepest part of the ocean, something that will eventually burst forth in a tidal wave of destruction. Whatever the truth, Night Elves agree and consider that the region is cursed. The few remaining residents are telling stories of creatures lurking in the ruins of Zinajari, murlocs and nagas swimming in the Coral Sea. The curse-drawn bands of undead along the beach and at the fringes of the Ashenvale forest. And with every curse, the dark chants of demon cultists have echoed along the entire region of Kalimdor. Today, we're going to take advantage of the Azshara curse, and the reason we're venturing to this old forgotten place is to kill the Legashi satyrs, mobs with level between 51, 53 and a quite motivating loot table. The main reagent we're after is the Felcloth, which is used in a variety of crafts such as Warlock Soul Shard bags, Robe of the Void, Cloth Shadow Resistance set, and the Felcloth pieces that serve as pre-best in slot gear for Warlocks. Felcloth can be further transformed into Mooncloth, which is used to create top-of-the-line quality bags, best-in-slot cloth gear for casters and healers, and of course, resistance gear. Second reagent is the Rune Cloth that will serve as consistency to our final gold per hour. Major healing and superior mana potions have a decent drop chance and they sell very well. These demons have an increased drop chance to armor and weapons, both grey and uncommon. Basically, the satyrs are humanoids on steroids. There are 3 types of demons scattered across 3 spawn points in the northern part of Azshara, at a place called Legashi Encampment. The Legashi Satyr with around 2.5k health and a mana burn ability. These tend to be very annoying for casters. Legashi Hellcaller with around 2.3k health and 2 abilities, Fireball and Rain of Fire. The spells are easy to interrupt, but in my experience, due to the low health, you can just burst them down, if your current gear allows you to. and the Legashi Rogue with around 3.1k health and 3 abilities: Backstab, Gouge, and some sort of instant poison. The Gouge is pretty annoying, and the Backstab can get you killed if you pull more than 2 mobs and you allow them to hit from behind. The rogues are a bit tougher to kill, but their loot table is superior because they drop 3 extra patterns to be vendored. Wicked Leather Bracers and a Recipe of Mongoose with about 4% drop chance, and Formula Enchant Gloves Greater Agility with about 1% drop chance. It might not seem like much, but these will add up over time and will represent a percentage of your gold per hour. All demons have a 25% chance to drop Runecloth, 1 or 2 pieces, 4% chance to drop the Fellcloth, 3% for a major healing potion, 1.5% for a superior mana potion, and this spot tends to be great for healers as all of them drop demonic runes with about 4% drop chance. Now, each mini camp had between 12 and 18 demons, with the southern and northwestern camp being the most populated. Hence, the rotation I chose was between the two. It took me around 10 minutes to kill and loot all the mobs from the two camps. By the time I got back to the start point, mobs already respawned, as the respawn timer seemed to be around 5.5 minutes. The rogue used in this grind had slightly weaker gear compared to a pre-best in slot setup. The advantage were the 2 demon slaying enchants that have a chance to inflict 75 to 125 holy damage and stun them for 5 seconds. This enchant is pretty inexpensive and quite useful if your plan is to grind demons for a long period of time. Normally, you could start this grind in your early 50s, but due to the competition, I highly recommend level 60 and always be prepared to fight for the spot. If you're stubborn and want to level in this spot, try coming during off hours, especially during nighttime. In past experiences and some of the mega servers I've played, this spot brought less than average PvP scenarios, as for a weird reason opposing faction refused to attack me, or I just ended up sharing a spot with one of my own. Nevertheless, there's always someone more committed, more prepared, and ready to end your misery in order to get the spot. I think we got enough information. Let's see how much gold we made during 3 hours of grind. During the 3 hours adventure, I managed to kill around 600 demons, obtained 11 stacks of Runecloth, 24 pieces of Fellcloth, 14 major healing pots, 5 superior mana pots, a couple of green items that were either worth selling or disenchanting, and tons of junk grey and green items, some of which vendored for almost 2 gold. The average price for Fellcloth is usually between 3 and 5 gold, so I thought 4 gold would be a decent price. Calculated all the Runecloth at 1.6 gold per stack, although it usually goes for more. In total, I've made 182 gold, which puts me to 60 gold and 66 silver per hour. Keep in mind that this grind was made on a test server and there was 0 competition, but similar numbers can be obtained during nighttime and off hours. Also, I didn't get any rare items, neither traveler's backpacks. So the consistency is there if you got a spot for yourself and a speed kill. Normally, a 3 hours grind session would make me get bored, but this spot kept me excited, and I guess that was due to the RNG nature of it. Knowing that each mob can drop a 4 gold value item kept me going without stopping. At one point I got 3 Fellcloths in a row, and 1 minute later another one. Now that's something that keeps you motivated. I've grinded this spot for hundreds of hours during my vanilla journey, and it never let me down. Sometimes the first hour might not be that generous in terms of Fellcloth drops, but if your grinding session gets extended 2 to 3 hours, your results should always be amazing. About 1 week spending daily 2 to 3 hours here, and this should get you about just the right amount of gold to purchase your epic mount. Another thing worth mentioning that will increase your gold per hour is the use of professions. With herbalism, you'll be able to find a variety of herbs such as purple lotus, sungrass, and mountain silver sage. But most important, dream foil. Always check the price in the auction house, as sometimes doing Azshara runs for herbs might be more profitable than grinding the demons. Usually this happens before a major content update at the release of a new raid. Dreamfoil prices can skyrocket and sell for 30 to 40 golds a stack. If you have mining, the mini mountains right next to the grinding spot are abundant in mithril, thorium and rich thorium veins. Compared to herbalism, it makes it really easy to gather them because you don't have to move away from the initial spots. Sometimes you get lucky and add some gems or maybe some arcane crystals to your backpack. Make no mistake, these will increase your gold gains by a lot. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, make sure to drop a like and a comment down below. As you might notice, YouTube does not recommend or send notification for all of the videos on a channel you're subscribed to. So in the odd event where I make a video about news or something that does not fit your habits, you might not get notified. To remedy this, you can click on the bell button right next to the subscribe one. Until next time, stay frosty.